hope. How are you feeling, Aristos? I think the last time you were a bit sick. I hope you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
better.
I'm doing better, thanks. I'm still on some medication, but yeah, it's
You
better.
on what observation?
Medication on some meds.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope it's not too bad.
No, no, I just had the bronchitis because
Uh,
we had some a triathlon race with my friends, and I swam, and the sea was super cold, and I got sick, and yeah, but
hope
I'm
you
doing well
get.
now. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I hope you get totally better soon.
Okay. Thank
And how do you do, Cassandra?
I'm fine, thank you.
And
I'm fine,
how
fine,
is
fine.
life in Nigeria? Work, if you work. I'm not sure. Are you a student or do you work? I think student, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I just graduated, but I'm not done schooling, so I have law school to go to. But I I just took computer science diploma, computer engineering diploma, so I may have to switch career after my law school.
Oh, so where did you do the diploma? Which
Law
school?
School Africa, and then
Oh,
other
also.
boot camps.
So are you done with alt school?
We are building capstone at the moment, the final project.
Oh, nice. So yeah, which track are you going? I think my brother is also doing alt school.
Wow, I'm a front end track.
Mm, oh, nice. Good. Okay, we can start with the meeting. Today, maybe the meeting might be a bit shorter because we
you.
only just have two things. We need to do the demos, and then we have a final retro. Um, so we can start with the demos. I think you all took 2 weeks to do some interesting stuff. I saw some of them when I did the code review. So please walk us through the demo.
Okay, Mike. Which one will you do, Mike? We didn't really plan this because Mike told me we are not presenting anything today.
You are muted, Mike. So maybe wait.
So I said whichever one you are comfortable with, but I felt like you may want to go with the demo and then I go with the code.
Okay, so please, I will have to take 2 minutes.
No problem.
2 minutes. Um, um, okay. Um,
But I think so. While you prepare for that, so for the recap posts, Karen agrees to do that. So probably when she's back, she can let us know about when she's ready to write it. And I think there's not much guidance. We can find some reference on the on the dev um, channel on for Collab Lab, and we can try to find the reference and something to show her like a guide to do that.
Yeah, and also from my previous cohort, we can take an example from that as well.
Okay, then that'll be perfect. And how was the whole mentoring? I know we will get to the ritual part, but for you, Aris, how was the whole cohort session for you?
It's been the second one, and I generally feel that it's like I like to to help people learn and transfer knowledge. So it definitely it's something that I enjoy doing, and well, I think that's just about it. I think also that the level was really nice. It was really good on our mentors here. So yeah, it felt like it was the time passed faster than the previous cohort.
Yeah, true that. I think the for me also it was also quite enjoying, but along the way sometimes I feel like I had so much to do because I have some other side stuff I needed to do. So sometimes I forget that, oh, there's something called the Collab Lab and I need to maybe check on the code review or prepare
Yeah,
for the meeting.
yeah,
So
that's true.
sometimes like it was a bit like overwhelming for me because also I had this weeks where I had to travel. Oh, but I think I will skip the next cohort. I will take a break and then maybe we'll hopefully find another time in the next couple of seconds and join again.
Yeah, that's what I did. I did the autumn last year, so I skipped and I did this as well. And also I had issues with the weekends, so having the weekly things being done on Monday was much easier for me at least, because having to do them on the weekends was really restricting.
When you are ready, Cassandra, just let us know.
Okay.
By the
Okay.
way, you also match the code on GitHub, so you can just use the link on from the GitHub. You don't have to run your local setup.
Okay, but I don't even. We
So
don't know.
about that, I think there's an issue with the automatic the live app, because I clicked on the link. I don't think it's showing the updated version of our code. Except maybe I'm checking a wrong one, but it's not showing the updated version of our code.
Let me see. If you want, I can show my screen and then you can walk us through the app.
Okay. It's okay. Um,
Is it running at your end?
Yeah, you just have to clear your cache.
Ah,
Can you see my screen, Cassandra?
okay. Yeah, I can see your screen. Okay. So,
So you can use that and then just let me know if you want me to click somewhere.
all right. Then, okay. So this is our app. This is the home page. We chose a name for it, the smart basket. So all of us agreed to this name. It kind of represents what the app is doing and saying. Since it's kind of yeah, a smart shopping list. So putting smart as part of the name really shows that yes.
Is there AI involved?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
When I
but
saw smart,
then
I thought, okay, maybe you guys used AI.
no, it's for the fact that it can tell you your estimated date for next purchase. It's smart enough, I think.
True.
Okay, so moving forward, you can you can either create list or join an existing list, or you can even join your own list if you know your list talking beforehand. So if you want to create a list, okay, you click on the create list button. Okay. And it will do that loader thing, and it will bring you to this place where you will get started in creating your list. And once you click the get started, it takes you to the add item view. Okay, where you can type in item one, item two, item three. Okay. And you can as well select kind of soon so that it will show a different progress bar and not soon. So once you add it successfully, it will display a prompt that data is added successfully. But once you try to add item without any data, it will also show a notification.
I I don't think it shows that.
Okay, I think this particular, I think it's not
Looks like it's
updated.
broken. Yeah, looks like it's broken. We'll check it
Yeah,
out.
Yeah, but
because
it does reset because if I select this and I click, it goes back to soon.
yeah,
Yeah.
the default state is the sun. So okay, and okay, if you also type another item that is already in the list, it will also show you the prompt that the item already exists. Okay, it's kind of broken too. After we'll have to fix it. Then if you look at the
Can you
top,
check? No, it was. I think it was shades you added or something. Was it? Is it the same thing? Can you please check the item list? Let's see
Yeah,
the items
it
that are
is.
correct.
okay, if you add X again, let's type X again and know if it will show the prompt. Okay,
S-
it's kind of broken too. Oh, it's showing.
Yeah.
So the item already exists. Then if you
I
look at,
guess. Sorry, hold on. Let me check something. Maybe chicken. And if I add chicken again, probably it's something with after you add the item, it maybe doesn't show up because it doesn't. If I do this again, I don't see the error, but maybe if I switch and then I try, then
Okay.
we'll have to look at it after.
yeah, no problem.
It works though on the app that is deployed from your last MR. It works, so maybe
Yeah, the
that's
previous app
strange.
works.
Probably it's just maybe rendering issue, maybe
Okay.
because I see that this resets back. So probably it's just maybe the label not showing up for some reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Also, in the add item view, if you also check the right top side, you will see the name of the list you are currently working with. So, because of the connection we made yesterday, we were this morning and yesterday night, we checked how we can review to the user the list they are working on, maybe the list reference or the token name. So we were
Sorry.
able to.
Sorry. If you hover over that list token, does it display anything? It should display a. Oh, that's weird.
This,
Yeah, the token name up, yes, where you were just hovering over, it should show something about like a tooltip that says copy your this token or something like that.
yes, it does.
Or it shows it to you.
Yes,
We
Okay,
can't
because I'm not we can't see it here.
we can't see.
really. Um,
Yeah.
Let me try something different.
And also, please, can you what did you say you used so that we can use that live link? Because here on our system, when I tried accessing
Not
that live link,
updated.
it wasn't it's not updated.
So I see the tooltip, but then I think I have to copy manually and not click to copy, right?
Yeah, copy manually. Or maybe we could have included a feature of when you click on it to copy. That's something I could have done.
Yeah, that would have been nice and fancy.
Yeah. Let me just write that down somewhere.
Yeah, but you if you it's up to you if you want to continue work on the app after. But I think after today you are not mandated to make any changes or perfect anything because today will be like a final call. So but the channel will still be there and the mentors are there in case you want to ask questions
Mhm.
or chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. So you can copy your list token in case if you want to join your own list or you want to share it with another person to join your list. Then moving on to the list view, list item view.
Sorry to interrupt you, Cassandra. Also, in the mobile view, this appears differently. The list token appears the way it is displayed is a bit different because maybe I don't know if you can show like a mobile view so that maybe you can understand what I'm trying to. Yes. So it appears like this here, and then you have to click on it. Yeah, something like this. Um, since the tooltip cannot show on the mobile, we had to just find a way to dynamically show it.
Right.
Okay. All right. So moving on to the list view. Okay. Yeah. Here you can filter the items by typing the name. The name as you're typing it, it will yeah, it will show up at the top the ones you want, and you can check. So once you've done buying the product or the item, you can check it in the checkbox so that it can be recorded that it has already been purchased. Then, yeah, okay. Did you click the checkbox now or the item, the test,
The button.
the button? Okay, once you also click the test, it will display more information about the item in the modal form as it showed now.
Yeah, but
Okay,
I think it's just clicking the button, close the modem.
Yeah,
okay,
so the way this was built is it's on both the name of the item and the checkbox is connected using the input. So even if you click on the item name itself, it will check the item. It will check the box, right? And at the same time also to see the more details about the list, about the item. If you click on the box or click on the name or even click on the progress bar, it will bring out this dialog box or this what's it called? This more details page or this modal. So I was thinking of separating it from the checkbox or the name and then just putting it on the progress bar, putting that click on the progress bar. But then there's no way for the user to know that, oh, okay, if I actually click on the progress bar, I can see more information about this item. That is why now the way the functionality is built is when even if a user is checking an item by clicking on the item name or directly on the checkbox, it still pops up this box. So I think just that limitation was around if I only put it on the progress bar, how would the user know that okay, click on the progress bar to show me more information about this item? I think that is why it's the way it is at the moment.
Just a note, there's a way to prevent that from happening, and it's a function called the stop propagation on event, and it prevents the click from going to the father. So probably that will help you prevent the modal popping up when you click the checkbox. Then you can have all the other part of the line to be clickable for the model to open.
Yeah, yes, I understand. I'm just saying that if we do remove the check, the modal from showing up when a user checks the item, or by clicking the box, or by clicking the item name, there is no way to inform the user that currently the way the app is, there's no way to inform the user that actually click on this progress bar or click on this part of the application to get more
Yeah.
details about this application. So that was why, yeah.
Usually that use case is handled by having an icon with an eye inside, a circle with an eye or something like that. So users are accustomed to, when seeing that, understand that there's more information there to see. So that could
Like
be a
an
nice
eye.
option. Yes.
Okay, so does
Let
it
me show you an icon to make my point.
okay.
Yeah, something along the lines of this. Yeah, here on chat.
Okay.
And
So,
also, I think I might have noticed if this is a bug, but like here I see next purchase June 6, last purchase May 30 for shoes. And I think if I click it again, it changes to May 30 for both next purchase and last purchase.
No, that's not a bug. Um
But
so the way
previously it showed me June 6th.
So that is the same thing I'm trying to say. So when you click on, when the first time you checked it, it shows, if you check it again, it's still going to be 30/30, right? Because basically it is measuring the days between purchase when the item was created and how many days before you actually purchased it. So that counts the next purchase date, and that is just within a day, or less than a day.
Okay, but as a user, as a product person, if I see this, it's confusing to me because I when I submitted, I saw June 6th, and then I see zero purchases. And then when I
Yeah,
come
that's
back
because they
again,
stick together. Yeah.
when I come again, I see something different. So for me, it's like, okay, I don't think I can rely on this smart basket. Maybe it needs to be smarter. But it's just, I know it's just a hiccup. So it's just pointing it out to you just in case you might have missed it.
No, so it's the same issue we're just talking about, that maybe we can remove that click, that the modal popping up from both the item name and the checkbox, because it is
Ah,
because
okay.
yeah, it's because that first time you click on it, it brings out the modal, and then it also checks the item, so it's giving you the previous information of the item before it was updated. That is what's happening.
All right. I think I understand what you mean.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, okay, I think we are done for this view. I think we are
Okay,
done for the whole
ju-
presentation. But you can
sorry,
also
just
delete item. Okay.
yeah, just one more thing. Aristos. So to include the icon, that for more information, I
Mhm.
think so that would appear when a user hovers over the progress bar, I think, right?
It could
Because
be, maybe it could be to the left of the rubbish bin, or next to the name. Uh, I don't think it will be useful to have it on hover, because if you use it on mobile, then you don't have hover. So you need it to be somewhere that it's
okay.
visible.
Okay, so just in front of the item name, just have an icon there.
Yeah, those things usually go with, you try something, it doesn't fit there, then you try it on another place and see how it works.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So just a product feedback. I think the last version for the app, I could check and uncheck a shopping item. But here, I think just clicking it shows me this purpose. I can't check and uncheck this anymore.
Yeah, it's not meant to be unchecked.
Until after
Okay.
24 hours, okay.
Until after 24 hours, yes.
It's uncheck
Okay.
itself.
Okay.
And then
Then you can also,
would I see it in the list after it's unchecks?
Yes, it will still be there, and it's like recorded one purchase. The purchase number will just increase, but then it will still be there for the user to buy it the next time again.
Okay. That's fine.
then you can also join list through the other route. You
How do I
can
join
give
this?
if you have to leave the app
So you have to clear your
by
local storage.
deleting it in local storage. How will I use another local storage? But
I don't
you
think
have
the
to
app is built for a user to delete their
log out.
Yeah, but
log out, right? So
I
once you
think
start, okay,
you can also the same way you have this stuff here. Maybe you can have a button and say join a different list, and then I click the button. I enter my token, and then it logs into a different token or database or something. A way to switch for the user. So not log in and log out, but for me to be able to switch to a different basket.
So if you click on that, there's a button like that. Currently, the way the app is designed, you cannot go to the home route where you came from. You can only go there if you don't have a token. But if there's already a token saved in local storage, you cannot do that anymore. So if
I
there's a
understand.
button that we're going to provide, that button should be a button that removes local storage and then just takes you back to the home page immediately and where you can enter the new token.
Yeah, so what I mean, not thinking about it technically, but as a user, if I use the basket, then I
Mhm.
could just have that button and the pop-up or
Mhm.
a text box, and then I click it. And however you choose to do it, maybe you want to clear this local storage or you want to load all the data from the Firebase again and reset the storage. So it's up to you, but will be something you can consider if you want to keep working on this on your spare time or on your own, just to practice. Might be a good feature so that um, you don't have to always clear data.
Okay.
Yeah, possible.
And I think I saw this, and the first time I tried it, I couldn't tell if I need to click or I can't remember. I think I was confused that I needed to click to enter a token.
Yeah,
Yeah, yes.
we corrected it.
Okay. I think it looks better now because I can click to join an existing shopping list. And then I also have like it also shows me this line that shows I can click. And I think that's quite optimal.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, to bring it to the list view straight.
Yeah.
And then you can maybe record your sale, record that you purchased an item. But if you want to still add, you have to still go to the add item. So that's the app. Um,
So for the code, I would like it to be quite a very short summary, so we don't go too into detail how, in case maybe Aris has other questions, but also so we have time to do the ritual. But
Um,
in general, I think the app was nice. I like the name, like I mentioned in the code review. The colors are also quite in my opinion, I think better than the last time where it was a bit hard to show in that move.
So in
Yeah,
summary, we're badass then. That's what you're saying.
yeah, I think you did quite well. Like coming up with the concept, also like the colors. I think for me it was quite impressive, except from the minor bugs that I mentioned regarding the button or the dates, but those are minor. And then my wish would have been also a way to easily switch, but you only had 2 weeks, so it was also like a small time to think through all you wanted to have. So I think for me, I like it.
All right, let me just
Thank
demo
you.
the code quickly. Let me
Aristos, do you have any comment on the demo?
I like the appearance of the app. I like that you took care for the mobile view as well. As Peter mentioned, the color is nice as well as the name, the image. I think you improved on functionality. For example, on the menu that you don't have one extra option since it's not needed. So yeah, good work.
thank
Thanks.
you.
And I also like that you use Tailwind. It's a very modern, let's say, CSS framework that a lot of people adopt at the moment, and it's a nice skill to have.
Thanks. I learned Tailwind during this project. I didn't know how to use it before. I'm so happy that I learned it.
Yeah, at the beginning, it's sometimes a little not hard, but it takes some time to get used to
The
all the
class
classes and
name.
stuff. Yeah, but once you get used to it, it's still nice.
Yeah, and the documentation was also helpful.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Do you have the IntelliSense plugin for in VS Code for Tailwind?
Is it the extension? Yeah.
Yes, yes, nice, because it helps a lot. It has autocomplete and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I shared it the last time when you mentioned Tailwind. There's this UI component you can just copy paste from
yeah,
I think Shad CN, and I started using that this week. Although it's mostly built for Next.js, I try to replicate it for Remix. I think it's if you're considering to use Tailwind or maybe build your own component, might also be something to check out. And you have some ready-made component like buttons, cards, tables, and the likes that all that you can use to style your stuff. So
So on a personal note, the reason why I use Tailwind is because I don't like custom components. I don't like using something that when it comes to building out those things, especially when I'm trying to build out a what's it called, a checkbox, a custom checkbox. I think it's usually easier, maybe if you're on Bootstrap or Material UI or something, and then you can easily just get a component. But personally, I just prefer, okay, for the complicated ones, for the custom ones, I'll just write a CSS and just try to. But that is how I get better with my CSS. I don't usually just like going for a ready-made component, and that is what I that's why I'm using Tailwind, to be honest. So
so I'm trying to understand what you mean by custom component, because if you have to use like buttons all over, uh maybe if there's an example here, okay, there's not much of an example in your app, but let's say you have this add item button that looks the way it is, and then you want to add buttons in other parts of your application. Do you copy the code and get it
yeah,
all over your?
I'll probably just build a component, maybe like a module, like a component for it, and then apply it to most parts of wherever I want to use it. So
Okay, so is that a custom component for you, or what is it to you?
No, that for me, so when I say custom component, I mean has if you want an input field, Bootstrap already has like an input field that you can easily copy and integrate into your code, and things like that. That is what I'm referring to as, yeah, that's what I'm referring to as custom components, custom CSS components, right? And those are the ones I'm saying I don't necessarily personally, I don't really like using them.
Yeah, okay. So basically, this one, the bootstrap you mentioned, you are using more like ready-made component that
Yes,
you can
yeah, the
you
ready-made ones.
you
Yes.
only have props to modify. But the one I mentioned, you are more or less you know how to style the buttons and everything are already there, but you just copy the code and add it instead of maybe thinking of coming up with how you want to write the proper button component with, especially if you're also just starting out. And
Okay.
you have accessibility, and you also choose the kind of tailwind classes you want to use for it. So it's a bit different, but your choice is also fine if you prefer to write. There are definitely also people that also doesn't like using tailwind because of maybe too many classes in one component or element. So it
Yeah.
also boils down to preference and how you work, but also how your team chooses to uh, standardize on their work.
So
Mhm.
what's the name again? Um,
Uh, I'm not sure if Aris knows, so he can
Uh,
type it because I can't
yeah,
find my chat box because I'm
S.
recording.
Yeah, I will send it here. We are
I
also
think
considering at the moment because
yes.
we are transitioning from Material UI to Tailwind, and we are actually considering that at work for a project.
okay.
The
Okay.
the thing is that when you have something like Material UI or Bootstrap, you are very closely tied to their design system, and you have to your designer has to do everything the Material UI way or the Boot
Yeah.
way for the application to work, and sometimes this is restricting. So
So
depends.
that's built on Radix primitives. And
Yeah,
so if
that's
you want more lower level, you can just go to Radix, I think radixui.com, and you can copy the component and then you style however you choose.
mhm.
If you want to style with regular CSS, or if you want to style with what's it called, Tailwind, or whichever one you choose to. So this one Aris shared uses Radix, and then just gives you some Tailwind comment. But I think Radix now already have some suggested styling
Mhm.
for your for the Radix component if you are using regular CSS or Tailwind or Material. So you have the flexibility. So you can check them out and choose, or maybe you like all the styling from your the one Harris shared and you just copy it, or you just go directly to Radix and you already have those primitives. And he also has a nice way of defining component that you can extend, using all the slots and props. And you are not tied to how it looks. It's more like on the base level.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Okay, so let's quickly go through the code. We have 15 more minutes, so we can go do the retros.
Yeah. So Retro, here is your link. Um, the format is a little bit different from the
No,
last time.
sorry, Aris. Let's give Michael like 2 minutes to quickly walk through the code.
Sorry guys. Yeah, I heard it's heard. Yeah, sorry.
All right, so let me see. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right, so let me just see how quickly I can breeze through this. So a major change we made on the app.jx is to remove the home route from within the layout. Everything was displayed within the layout previously, and so we are now currently showing only the list route and the add item route within the this okay, why is this here? All right, so we're only showing just these two routes, the add item route and the list route. It shouldn't be here, but and I'll do that later. And for the other changes on in the list token or in the home, we did so in order to show that item, in order to in the home box, in order to show that a user should click to join an existing list. We're displaying it here. And one thing I also noticed is that this application, while working on this particular feature, it required that for accessibility's sake, you have to use an on keyboard something. I don't know where that is, and then you have to add a tab index. I've never had to do that. So this was more like to make sure that you're writing. For places I used other elements for as buttons, it's required that I added an on click down keyboard in event. That was something new. Or maybe that was just probably teaching me that I should make sure I look out for accessibility or something. But I don't know what was used to force me to do that, because I kept getting an error and then the application was not committing. So I'll hopefully like to learn what was used to make sure that error that kept coming. So something else, yeah, is okay. So there's a show join form, and so that's just to control the display of the where the user will type in the token and that input box. So what else? What else? What else? What else? Okay, and also to manage the screen sizes, we defined something here that just basically measures the window inner width, and then whatever size it is, it adjusts to that particular size, rather than using the common media queries. But this could also go for a media query in a way. Then what else? And then for the list page, there were some suggestions Peter made in the comment on GitHub that one application or one component should control something or one thing, and then you shouldn't transfer responsibilities between components. So I tried to make some of those changes that he spoke about, and that was also really good. It was a really good learning. So I can't go deeply into that, but yeah. So some of those changes were made here in some parts of the application, and then for within the list, we are displaying the list item and then the item details page, which is controlled by a modal a Boolean value here. And then inside the item display, we're using also to manage media query or media sizes. We're using this. And okay, no, this is not in, this is to make sure that a user can close the modal box even without clicking that X on top of it. If you click anywhere on the window, that box, that modal should close. I think that is what this is doing. And then there was also some comments Peter made here that updated. And this place is just basically what shows you the dates. The dates, the more details about the item, where you have the date last purchase and date next purchase and the total purchases. So this is just where we wrote the function to convert those, and then we are returning both these two elements inside an array, and then we're passing the convert to date function inside here and passing it the different values required. I think those are the major changes that were done on the application.
Thanks. Aris, any comment on the code?
No, nothing from me. To be honest, I mean, we saw a lot on the previous meet, so yeah.
For me, the code, I would also say quite fine. My comments from the code review still stand, at least most of them, because I see you made some changes, but I think probably it's still not uh, implemented in the way I tried to explain in the code review. So, for example, with a part of the ref, um, like I said, I think there would be a cleaner way to do it. But
Okay.
aside from that, I think it's fine for me. But
Even
those,
without okay.
sorry, go on.
Yeah, so currently we're no longer using useref. We're just directly accessing the element using the DOM for it.
Yeah, so that's what I tried to explain was since you are using React, you you have access to the ref and you don't need to directly reach for element.id. And which is also why I pointed you to the ref attribute
Okay. Yeah,
for you to read about if you don't know, because then
yeah,
you can tie directly to that. Um
yeah.
and
I know how
also
I know that. Yeah.
regarding the, because here you are checking if they click outside, then I think you could probably the add the ref to the main part where you want to capture this click event and then handle click. And then when you handle click in that component, you can just call like let's say on close or on exit, and then your whichever component displays this item display can decide to close mode. Like here as item display has to know that, oh, when I click this, I have to call close mode. Otherwise, what I would imagine, like React give you, it's more like you are propagating events. You are telling your system what happened. And since this component is not the person responsible for opening and closing mode, you just tell which event was clicked or what happened. Maybe the close was clicked, but in general, it's more like there could be a different way to design for the modal and all that, and then your
All right.
component doesn't need to know too much. But those are more like I would not expect you to know it at this point. Those are more like things I just wanted to mention, so you keep it in mind for more like self-learning and development, and over time you get better at this. It's more about designing components. It's not like the code doesn't work, but more like having something that easy to maintain.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, so let's quickly go um to the retros. I think we are running out of time.
Yep. So one moment, because something is wrong with my camera. But I have
Okay.
sent you the link on the chat.
Do we have to
Uh,
log in?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Should we start adding while you are working out your camera?
Yeah, you can start. So I choose the little different layout. It seemed a little more appropriate for the last meeting. So we have 4 columns: liked, learned, lacked, and longed for. So feel free to write anything that comes to your mind.
Um, okay. Um,
So we will just have one more minute and then we can start.
Cassandra, we can hear your thoughts.
I can only hear her humming. I didn't hear her thought anyway. I think we can start with for the cards. Are you ready,
Yeah.
Cassandra? Ready? Or
About
need a
to.
bit more time? Okay.
Yes. Connecting. Connecting. I'm done.
Everyone done? Okay. Let me share my screen. Great. So, I'll start with myself. That's what I saw these weeks that I really like. The spirit and the flow of the team. You seem to work one with another really nice, even though it was the first time you met and get along well. And you produced some nice results. So congrats to you for that. Yeah, that's it from me. Did write a lot. So yeah, if someone else wants to take it from here and move on.
Michael. And how do you want it? Do you just want us to go over all the columns at once, or do you want to go column by column?
You can just talk about what you wrote. You can go column by column. Yeah.
Okay. Michael, can you go next?
You're muted, Mike.
Sorry, I think I wrote two things here. I don't know why it's just showing one. Under the so I wrote one thing about good feedback from the mentors. I think only that I don't think that is displayed here. But for what is displayed, good collaboration experience, just like you mentioned, Aris. It was so working with the ladies was was a good one in terms of just meeting them, and then from the first day, I think the first person I paired with was Sandra. Yeah, and from the first day, first issue, we connected instantly, and then just learned a bit about each other, and it was easy and great working with her. and then with every other person on the team I had to work with was also a good experience. I think one way or the other we've made friends. I think I'm already good friends with Cassandra. I think
You
so.
think?
Um, so
But he
yeah.
doesn't think so.
No,
Oh,
I
she
think
does.
so
She does.
too.
She's a very
I
so.
think so.
Although she's trying to rope me into another coding is it lesson or program just for her and
Team project.
project, right?
That's nice.
so so that was a good experience with them. Then I think another thing I really enjoyed was the the direct feedback we got from the mentors. I think those were really good. Helping to understand some parts of React that and JavaScript that, especially React, that we had no or that I had no good knowledge of. And those I always knew that I always know that React is still something broad that I may need to learn a bit more about. And yeah, it was good getting those feedback from the mentors and then having to implement them and just I kept noting them somewhere, and the personal projects I'm building I'm trying to make sure I implement those things. Another thing I learned is building fast accessibility, which is something I still need to do a lot of work in. So yeah, so that for me is what I like about the program.
Excellent. Thanks. Um, Cassandra?
Yeah, okay. I only wrote one. What I liked. I like just as Michael said. I enjoyed collaborating with everyone in this team. Yeah, I worked more with Sandra, and yeah, I learned how to collaborate. Before now, I don't even know, but I don't know how to collaborate before now. I only do my thing myself. Once you give me the task, I go on myself and do it. But I've learned how important the benefits of collaborating with teams and hearing how other people reason and think and approach problem. It's quite good to learn. Um, yeah,
And
I
how
also
do you
like.
do it at alt school? Do you do like teamwork?
Yeah, they shared us into circles. But okay, we build projects strictly, but it's not like this. It's not too organized like this. We don't do project management with GitHub. We just share the tasks and everybody will come up with their own after building. Maybe we use Replit or all those IDE, and then it will
Okay.
come and be building one by one. So it's not like this. It's not like this where they share it between two people and the two of you fix meetings and learn from each other and produce a work together. Yeah, I enjoyed it and I learned a lot from it.
It's good to hear that the Collab Lab helped in a good way. Oh, I think that's a good feedback for us. At least that's what we try to aim to help you get this into the habit of collaboration and communication because it's very important in the workplace. So,
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
is that all?
Do I talk about what I learned? You mean I should discuss everything I wrote here?
Yeah, I think you just
Ah,
go over everything you wrote.
Okay. I also learned JavaScript very well. No, not very well. Like my knowledge in JavaScript increased thanks to the mentors and Michael too. Then I learned Tailwind CSS. I've never used it before. I was one that insisted that we use Tailwind so that I can learn. And they agreed and we used it and I learned a lot. Then Git and then project management using GitHub. The whole pull, merging, and all those things. I think I know a bit before, but I've used it practically now, and I kind of have most of those commands off heart, and I've learned using it, making a PR and all that. So I learned Git and GitHub, JavaScript, CSS. Then coming to, and that is really great. That's really great. Then coming to what I learned, I will say that the mentors, you people did so well with us. You people were there, of course, whenever we have issue. But I don't know, but it's as if we did not even reach out enough. Maybe because Michael is here. But then I can also say that um even sometimes that we reach out, if people did not really people were not really available. Like yesterday evening, I reached out to Peter. We were stuck, we were on a project and all. And even when Peter finished the correction on GitHub, I reached out to, I made a correct, I updated the comments and I was now waiting so that we will know what next from there. Is this same join list issue now? Because we were thinking, how do we now do it best to answer the question you asked us? We are asking whether it's normal or not. So I answered something on GitHub and I didn't even see you go there to comment, or knowing fully well that we are all trying to merge and come up with a good work today. But I don't know, maybe your work is kind of very tasking and I understand, but that's just it.
Yeah, I think that's, I think you're right in terms of some availability. At least I think more like having more. I would have also loved to have more like maybe if you guys were stuck, or aside from getting stuck, but help in other ways. Part of it was also me traveling a bit, so I didn't have enough time. But um, also in terms of availability, I think also most of the mentors also have just, they also have priorities beside the blah blah, and the expectation is not to be there 24/7. It's more like we are also in the channel maybe to give update or answer questions sometimes, but not to be there like immediate. And especially when you work remotely, people um, and different time zones, but they also have different subjects. You made example of messaging me yesterday. Was it on Sunday? I'm not sure. I think it was on Sunday. And that, if I remember correctly, that was like 9:30 p.m. And I don't think it would be nice to expect people to respond to your message by 9:30 p.m. So uh, you, even if you work in teams, except if you are in the office and you see the person face to face, usually I would say you message and you wait for a response probably the next morning, but usually not expect when you need help immediately, the person is here to provide help, because maybe Aris is at work and needs to quench some fire in production, or maybe it's in the evening and maybe Eva or Aris are taking care of their kids or doing some other volunteer work. So I would say just for the future also, if you need those kind of help, if you see the mentors online, then maybe you can get an immediate help. Otherwise, also maybe you try to miss it early and they can plan to join you um, the day after, when they have time. So if you put the message in the channel if you need help. So maybe the next day, Aris might be free. Meanwhile, I'm quite busy with some other work there. So that's why we have three mentors to be able to do that. So don't expect very immediate, like if you message by 9 p.m. I think that's what I could say regarding the timing. But for the GitHub issues, I'm not sure. I think I don't remember seeing your question, because I saw one. I got the email about your that. Oh, you've updated it, and then I had other comments that were not answered. So I didn't see any response to. I saw your answer that what I thought was a bug was actually the functionality, but I had other questions that answered, so I wasn't sure if you were trying to fix it and need me to review again. At least I didn't get the prompt. So probably in this case is where you can respond to each comment, and then when you are done, you can request. There's a way you can request for review again from GitHub, or ask or leave a comment that it's ready to review again. So it's more clear in terms of communication when your work is also ready. But yeah, I think you could have also in general have a better had a better maybe, at least from my part, I'm not speaking for Aris, like to have more collaboration. But I know Michael messaged me a few times with his job IU project. So I'm glad we at least we try to engage in that respect. But even after the program, if you feel like you maybe we didn't have more time and there's something I could help with, or you want more time, I would say you can let me know and we can book like some days ahead, because I won't usually be most times available on the spot. So that's where also the office hours is there for us to be able to engage with the mentors and chat about different stuff. But I left a comment in the review in the retro, which I think the office hours was not also fully realized, and I think that is where there's uh, more availability with the mentors would have come from through the office hours and also the code reviews. And but for at least the week, I had 2 office hours when I was available. One of them I got no response from the collabs from you all. Uh, the other one, I you some of you showed up. I think it was mostly Michael, and he was the only one engaging in the conversation. And I think Karen and Sandra didn't show up. And also feedback I got from other mentors was there were also some other 1 or 2 office hours that was scheduled and nobody showed up, most likely also without a reason. So that is one part I think was maybe we could have better communicated how important it would be for the office hours for you to participate. Maybe that would have been something we could have communicated better. So perhaps the collabs didn't understand the importance of it and felt it was very optional and not important, and so skipped it. And that would have been the perfect opportunity for having the mentors availability, because um, unlike trying to catch them on the spot, because they have a regular job and also a family. So expectation should be a bit relaxed in this case.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks for the clarification. Okay,
You're welcome.
but then about office hour, I think why I myself did not really maximize it is that it always comes at the wrong time. Maybe when we are still struggling to understand the issue and we've not yet come up with a question to ask yet, and office hour is there, and we are still trying to, like, if it can be possible, if the collaborates themselves, but I don't know. I think it's always not convenient for us because we don't really have what to ask, or we are still struggling to meet up with time. And then when we now have the actual question, the office hour must have happened. So, but I
Yes,
don't
so
really know.
you don't really what?
No, I said I don't really know how to really present it, but I guess that
Yeah, I think regarding that. the the office hours, like I know, you have options to choose a time slot, and we we pick based on the most votes. And I think most people chose a time. And if you said you'll be available that time, I would expect the person to be there, irrespective of if you are stuck on code. And that is why you have 1 week. So, and office hours is just 1 hour. You can take that time to, because when you work on your regular day-to-day job, because you are stuck on a bug does not mean you would skip maybe the company all hands, or you would skip going for your team event, or you would skip going for your review meetings. So you know there's a time for all those, and even if
Yeah.
you are stuck on a bug, you still have to go for the meeting, especially when you agree to it that you will be there. So it's you go there and you focus on the part that's meant for the meeting. In this case, the office hours are you, and you have other questions. It could be about React. It could be like, oh, how is your day-to-day job? How do you handle conflict at job? Or we had this issue. What do we do? Then you learn from that opportunity, and then continue with the coding challenge. And then when it's getting close to the weekend and you still get stuck, you can ask the mentors a day before, so that they are aware and can make out time to help you. Uh, Maybe how soon it will be depends on how busy they are in that day. But one tip I could say is, if also you work in a team, knowing when to ask questions early, but also giving time so that people, your colleagues might also be busy with their own deliverables, and they may not be able to jump in immediately. Sometimes they could, sometimes they would need time. So understanding that would also help you manage expectations from your colleagues as well. Uh,
All right.
was
Thank you.
that makes sense?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, yeah. But I will be available. I'll, throughout the time. I'm still very busy these days with some project and some personal life stuff. But if you all or just individual also just wants like a sort of office hours with me, you can drop in the channel. Maybe other people wants to join as well, and we can try to set a time that would work for both of us as well. And so I will still be in the channel and try to respond when I'm free.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So for my part, just to wrap up, I I really liked the support from the mentors when I was not available. They were able to step in to take some of my work, and then from the collab is the um, how you how you work together was really nice, and also I saw how you were really keen on learning and improving each week. So that was really admirable, and also the how you were able to handle the last 2 weeks. In general, I think I'm really impressed with the collaboration, because I've seen other cases where it could have gone maybe very slow and very bad, but in your first week you already had something to show, and then the second week was also nicely put together. So I think that was impressive. Uh, we already discussed a bit about the part for the office hours, so I think that sums up all I would have to say for the retro.
Yeah, and I think it also sums up our call. We are also almost half an hour off schedule.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but
if
guys, yeah, feel free to reach out here on the Collab Lab, because I think it's a nice community with nice people. So if you ever need any help, just
But, but I think we are just in the I think the channel I have access to is just the T59. I don't know if there are other channels outside or something like that.
there are other public channels. You can just browse and join
Mhm.
different ones.
Oh,
So
really?
just check. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So
we'll check.
when Karen is here, she would let us know and we can share resources for the post and reach out if you need any help or just want to chat about work.
Yep.
All right. Was a pleasure meeting you all and spending the time with you. Have a nice week and
Have a good one.
yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye.